Are you wearing glasses?
Yeah, I just decided to add the glasses. I said, like, let's do all accessories possible.
He can't see in cyberspace.
Uno, dos, tres.
Almost synced.
Fine,
We're getting better.
fine,
We're
that's
getting
perfect.
better. It's only what, episode 15 or what? What episode we're in? Do you know? Do you remember?
I don't know. Anything more than one's quite impressive for something
exactly.
I'm involved in.
It's very impressive. Hello, Matt. How are you?
Hello.
Doing? It's
I'm doing
amazing to
good.
have you with us. Thank you for
Hey.
coming as a guest
Great to
to
be here.
our very, very high level and amazing show. Why are you laughing?
Say what you want.
It's
Say what
amazing-
you want.
The best
No
show
thinking.
ever, okay? The best, I'm telling you, is the biggest,
all right.
the best show. I'm telling
Artur
you, it's the
Trump.
best show ever.
I've noticed that you took your bandage off your ear there, Artur Trump.
Yeah, I did. But I put the hat on. The hat is the best hat ever. Very strong. Only the strongest. US, okay? We don't get that anymore.
Wonderful woman. The tits are real.
No US hats anymore. Okay. Anyways, so what I want to say. Yeah, thank you, Matt, for coming. For those who don't know, I mean, I'll let you introduce yourself, but recently, I mean, I know you from some other product you did. You can tell about that as well. But recently, you've been building for Vision Pro, and you've done some amazing job with the Beautiful Things app, which I've been testing from the early access, and now it's a very beautiful app which is being used by a lot of people around the world. So tell us maybe about yourself, what you have done before, and what you're working right now.
Sure. Well, thanks for trying the app. You know, Beautiful Things started as an experiment and grew kind of in an amazing direction. It's started as a spatial index of 3D content for the Vision Pro. More or less, honestly, it was just like the cool 3D things that I had. Put them on a website to be able to pull into the world really, really easily. And that seemed to resonate with people. We grew the largest index of 3D things, built out a Vision app that you can discover, play with, and share awesome 3D content inside the headset. And recently launched some new AI features as well. But before all that, I've been building, in XR since the DK2. I've been doing a mix of, kind of AR and VR since then. Took a small detour into space, but I guess, and then immediately right before Beautiful Things, I co-founded a company called Mona, which is a decentralized world-building platform backed by Filecoin, and grew that from MVP to Series A in like 6 months. It was a crazy fast growth, and kind of left that in 2023 around the time the headset was announced, the Vision Pro was announced. We've been waiting so long for that moment. It came out, and now to be building on it is quite surreal. And so it's finally here, and more people are paying attention, and it's been a lot of fun.
All right. And by the way, is Mona still running, or is it not?
Mona's still running. It is continuing to evolve and grow. I'm just not involved operationally anymore. So I
Gotcha.
left that just over a year ago now.
All right.
And,
All right.
It's still going strong.
We've been in this space already for quite some time. I mean, Somnium Space has been in Web3 metaverse space since 2018, like 17, 18, which is crazy to think about. But yeah, well, okay, Matt. I mean, you've built some impressive stuff, and by the way, when I'm looking there, I'm looking at the web browser where I have some XR news. Okay, so don't think I'm rude or something. I'm just having the browser here.
No, you secretly got me really big there. You just keep peeking.
No.
Yeah.
I promise it's not
Perfection.
you. It's not you there. No.
Look at my persona. Look at this persona, boys.
Yeah, I mean, you're the least impressive persona out of all three.
This
Sorry.
is the
Sorry to
peasant
say.
persona, and you guys are in the good ones.
Hey, you use
I see
Quest
some-
3. You deserve to be least impressive. Come on. Did you see the newest version of avatars they introduced? What an amazing update.
V5.
I was looking at before.
Yeah.
I did, okay, sorry.
It's like
no rant.
M64 characters, isn't it? Not gonna lie.
I mean, I don't like those avatars. I have to
Do
say it's strange.
But they
It
have
feels like they
legs.
don't have a path. They just try things. Does that work? Nah, not working. So let's do it worse. Nah, right, even worse. It just keep They've got no direction. It feels like they just do what they want. They don't care. Whereas Apple, look at you guys. These actually look decent.
I think, what we've seen is they kind of they jump around. And I'm not sure if it's chasing or we're not on the inside here, but it does seem like you get really excited about something, they'll scrap it. And then they'll launch something. You're like, where did that come from? And now we're,
It's the lack of vision, in my opinion. It's the lack of direction, because I think, Mark has everything. He has money. He has human capital, so he has smart people working for him. But I think they lack vision. And the vision cannot come from the team. The team can be the smartest team out of everyone, but there needs to be one person or a group of people who tells exactly what those people need to do. And, it's nothing wrong in that, but there needs to be one person who has the exact vision. It's not enough to say, build me a metaverse. It's not enough to say, I want great avatars. You need to know exactly what you need in those avatars. You need to know exactly what you need in those metaverse. And if you're building a headset, you need to know exactly what you need to have in that headset, what you want in that headset. I mean, you can outline the exact, let's say, top 5 things you want in that headset or in those avatars. And the rest, the team can fill in, because those are smart people and they can figure it out. But without those 5 anchor things which you tell to the team to do, there will be chaos. And there will be never a direct vision, and there will be never a progression. And in my opinion, or how I perceive it, I might be wrong, but how I perceive it is Mark is not someone who uses VR every day. He's not living and breathing the metaverse every day. He's not, using full body tracking.
I've seen a picture that says he does.
Yeah, I mean,
He's been on holiday for a week and he's worn it for a few hours, and he's got
he
some
wore it
sunburn.
outside.
Yeah. What I'm trying to say, those products tell me that there is lack of direction. And as you said, they're trying this, it didn't work, then trying that. And I mean, there's nothing wrong in trial and error, but not in that way. Because if you have a direction, if you know where you start and where you're going, in a time span, you will get there. But it looks like they're trying to do the snake or whatever, and there's no 2 steps forward, 3 steps back, then 3 steps forward, 1 step back, and then there's like whole thing. So it's just my opinion, like those avatars, like how can you have a $1 trillion company and you produce avatars after 5 years of development? You produce avatars which are, in my opinion, worse than Ready Player Me avatars, which, by the way, I think are amazing. I'm biased, I'm an investor there, but still, we use those avatars, and they are less creepy because they're more cartoony or less, there's
stylized.
they're stylized. They're stylized, and that style is, you can see that their style. But in meta opinion, again, I don't know. I just don't get the right feeling from those.
I blame Apple Vision Pro for this though. Every advert I see about the Quest 3, it's just mixed reality. Look what you can cook in it.
On my Meta Quest 3, so I don't get bored while I cook.
You can watch a video when you walk your dog. I'm just like, why are you doing this, guys? Stop it.
Whatever is said, Apple did put this marker out there. Maybe that unified their team to build focusly. You see some of these software updates they're pushing out on the Quest 3 right now, really trying to keep pace. And so, that seems to be Apple's role in this is, hey, here's the vision, build towards this, and it helps everyone out. And then
that is wrong again for Meta. Sorry, that is wrong again, because Meta should not follow Apple. Apple is doing their own thing, which is completely different from where Meta is, where Meta's strength is. The Meta strength is in gaming. It's a gaming console. It's a gaming platform. They should not try to become a business office thing where we're having this Zoom call. Like, I would not be having a Zoom call in Quest 3. Sorry, I would just not do it. This is it. Like, this is not the
I think next time.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going to do it. I'm going to go to Horizon Worlds. I'm going to make a beautiful avatar. We're going to have a chat.
No, so that's kind of like, that's what I think is wrong. They don't understand. They should understand who is their
children.
clients. Children, and who wants to buy them, and what is the Quest made for? Quest is
Gorilla Tag
headset. Like, it's a gaming console. Nobody's buying it for, like, not nobody, but vast majority of people are buying it for games. Some people are trying to work in it, but like it's pain
Not good.
because the resolution is not there. I think the optics is still not there. Like there's a lot of things which are kind of not there yet for Quest 2, and the operating system is not there. That's the most important part.
The only people working in the Quest or Quest 3 right now are probably paid to be there, right? They're either working on it to improve it, or their company has said, here are these devices and use it. I haven't heard of a single person go out and buy that and use that. As you said, the interest is in kids playing Gorilla Tag. They need this thing to get in with their friends. That's where they're thriving, and they're pushing the boundary. And those kids aren't going to go buy a $4,000 headset either.
No. and that's what you said. Interesting thing. Kids are socializing in Gorilla Tag, Population 1, but not in the Horizon worlds.
I know where you're going there. Yeah.
Now, I'm asking myself, you guys are selling that device. You know the statistics because obviously it's a platform. They collect all the data. You know the statistics of every person going into every game. And you are building a social VR platform, a Horizon world. You're building the metaverse. And you cannot nail those people or cannot bring those people into your game, those millions of people who play Gorilla Tag. And instead, they're going to the third-party apps and playing in it, which is okay for Meta because they're still using their platform. But it's kind of strange that they're not trying to compete with them or not trying to get those people in and attract them. I don't understand. I'm a little bit confused with the whole thing. And just one last thing, and I stop my rant, okay? But
you won't.
But
carry on.
I think Meta is, with their Horizon OS, how they call it, is quite, can you bleep it out, fucked? Because no, he won't do it. I know he won't do it. But they are fucked because the Apple has their own ecosystem of devices and the operating system. Google is going to build their own XR platform, whatever that will be called, with their own series of devices. So the Android will become spatial, like iOS. Android will be the actual catching up guy to the VisionOS things, right? But Meta is in between. They are using Android. They asked Google to give them access to Android apps. Google said no.
Denied.
And now what? Now they're, instead of spending all those years, let's say 5+ years, of building their own operating system, I don't know what operating system is based on. They could have built it based on whatever, but they should have been building it in a more kind of focused way to be independent. And I don't think they're there right now. I don't think they're super independent from Android, and that might be a big problem for them. And he might end up in the same problem he was trying to avoid all those years, and that's kind of sad.
This is going to be a fascinating thing to watch. He saw this wave coming, knew exactly where this was going, predicted all this with the acquisition of Oculus, and knew that to compete, to be that other player, you need to pour cash into it. You need to build kind of that core infrastructure, the operating system level. Apple launched the first consumer spatial operating system. They haven't delivered that yet. The hope is that they're working on it. It seemed like that recent, was this yesterday or the day before, the Llama 3.1 announcement with Zuck, that all that was motivated by Apple. And in his post on it was like, I was constrained by Apple to build what I wanted to build, and they would tell me no, and I didn't like that. And so now I'm building this, and we want to build some, kind of a more open approach to that. It seems like they're taking that in the AI space, and hopefully that bleeds over into Horizon or that kind of thinking. But we haven't seen that playbook yet.
They just announced that the AI is coming to Meta Quest. Where is this news? And that I'm sorry, and that AI will be seeing things.
Do you know what it can do? You can ask it, Meta, what am I looking at? As if you're a fucking idiot not to know what you're looking at.
What do you see in front of me?
I see a dog.
Quest at all, okay? But if I would, I don't want that on my Quest.
No.
Like, I don't want all those 5 cameras, or how many are there, 6 cameras, watching whatever I'm doing with a depth perception. And anyway, they're doing it already, but I don't want it to understand what they're looking at, automatic. Like, this is creepy.
It's
The
very
Meta is
creepy.
the last company in the world I would want to do that. Literally, the last company in the world I would want to do that. And one more thing, I watched the video of Zuck talking to Bloomberg, announcing AI. I think she went to his country house and stuff. And what really struck me, like, I think he doesn't understand that how big his company is or his position, because he was telling exactly what you said, Matt. He was telling like, hey, but we're already a big company and we need to have our space in the as a platform, and we're trying to do this. He still thinks about himself as a super some kind of underdog between those two big guys. But honestly, if he would correctly, in my opinion, if he would correctly execute the mission or the vision he has, if he would try hard enough, I don't know, he could have built the ultimate OS and the platform for XR. He could have built the ultimate hardware for even the mobile phones. He could have done it. Sorry, I look at the companies like Nothing. If companies like Nothing Phone, which was split from BBK and did OnePlus, and the CEO of OnePlus went out and created Nothing Phone, got some investors, raised some funds, and is able to sell 100,000 phones in 10 minutes. Don't tell me Facebook cannot create a phone which could be doing well, because Google is smart. They started doing their hardware. Why? Because they want to have the loop in the operating system. They want to have this circle thing where they have AI on the phone, where they control the chips, where they produce their own chips, and will the whole ecosystem, and Android, VR, XR, whatever it will be the logical final step for them to kind of complete, and will be checkmarked. It will be probably not as good as Vision OS, but this is a different story. But they have this. So Mark could have built it. He spent 30-40 billion dollars, like billion with a B. This is crazy. You can build anything you want. You can build a rocket. I mean, Elon Musk proved you can build rockets with even less and send them to the space. So that's strange. It's just, to me, it's very strange.
And we'll see. They're not traditionally a hardware company. They haven't succeeded. They had the Portal, right? That little thing that was on your desk during COVID. They've tried before. The Quest is a great device. They're doing really well on the headset. But can they tie that whole ecosystem together? We'll see. Is this going to be this three-legged race? Meta is going to be in the conversation.
I don't think it will be three company race, honestly. And also, if I think about Quest is a great device because of its price.
The entry point. 100%.
It's a great device, and it's selling well because it's basically subsidized. And if you would put Quest with if they would have to make money on it, like Apple is doing with the Vision Pro, they're making money on each device they're selling. And if they would calculate the R&D costs into the devices and selling, I know a thing or two about creating VR headset and then selling it at a profit. If they would incorporate all those costs into Quest, it would cost them probably 1.1, 1.2, 1.3K per device.
Oh, easy.
Now, that would be a tough sell because you would have to convince a lot of people to buy 1.3K dollars or euros device to play the games. And that is probably not enough. And of course, the numbers will be much lower. Now, what they're doing is they're subsidizing it heavily and buying their way to the consumers. I always say it's, when I look at the companies and someone is celebrating a success, some founders, they celebrate a success saying, hey, we have sold or we have 20,000 installations of our app. But they forgot to say that they paid for each installation, they paid maybe $10 of customer acquisition, or they just paid people to install the app. That's not smart. I mean, it's smart maybe for the marketing purpose, but it's not smart. You cannot say you are smart because you did this. This is an easy way. Like if I have $20 million, I can have tomorrow, I can subsidize VR1 and I can sell it for $999, and I would kill it. I would sell the most PC VR headsets on the market. Nobody would beat me, but I would be making loss on every headset. And then what? In the end, I will be hoping for what? For maybe creating a hype or raising more funds from the investors. I don't think that's the way how you measure the success, in my opinion. So Quest is great because it's cheap, in my opinion. It's not a bad device. It's a good hardware, but for the money, that's a killer price, of course. For $500, $600, that's a killer price. But for 1.3K, that will be a tough sell.
They've been able to do it at a loss and get it out there. I think if Oculus, if it stayed independent, they probably couldn't have done the same thing. We see that as a device that is compelling for some users, but for power users, it's not great, right? They're trying to do things, they're figuring it out on the fly, and it's very much a kind of an early experiment for them.
Yeah,
Where did all this like varifocal lens tech go? Because wasn't it like 3 or 4 years ago there was
they do.
They were showing off some really good tech and it just disappeared. Just vanished. And then went
Since
down
the
the
lab.
standalone route.
Their codec
go ahead,
avatars too just look incredible, right? You see them; they do the demos with Zuck gets on and shows off the kind of the high end sphere, but it still seems like a way off to get it to the consumer.
But
It's like
let's
what we
speak
said
about
earlier.
codec.
They're
Let's speak about
jumping
codec
around a lot, aren't
avatars. He did an amazing episode with Lex Fridman, okay, with the codec avatars.
Oh,
Now,
that was a scam.
Yeah, we learned later that this was each avatar, each person was connected with the headset wired to a PC, which PC was actually rendering those avatars and still were not able to render in full power for each person separately. So that was
Scammers.
codec avatar. And I questioned myself and I said, wait a second. It's impressive. It looked really good. But now think about it, Matt. We are using Vision Pro. This avatar was created within 30 seconds on device encrypted. 30 seconds. And it looks probably 70-80% of what codec avatar looked. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
That to me is what actual innovation is. Like the Apple, I applaud them because they made it. They made it the thing. And now with each update, it becomes better and better and better and better. And within already 6 months of Vision Pro out, it got really 3 big updates and the avatars became really much better. So that's real innovation. I mean, rendering something with 2 PCs, it's fine, but you need to get it to the next level at some point. But they seem like lagging there as well, in my opinion.
When do you think with the personas, the update where it asks you to scan your environment so you can put yourself in your room, do you think that'll ever come? That'd be a good idea.
They kind of already have this with facial personas. I would say
when you bring someone in.
It's exactly. It's kind of halfway there, maybe third way there. Because when I have a call with spatial personas, like we had call with Matt at some time, it really feels like you're in my place. And with echoes and stuff, it absolutely feels like you are sitting in my place. And if I put you, like if you're in the corner, it echoes correctly. It's pretty okay, sorry, man. I know. If you're in a dark corner,
you get echoey.
You won't get out there. But no,
I don't want to know what you two get up to on your spatial video calls.
This
okay?
is our personal space.
Down in the dungeon, in your Apple Vision Pros.
In a dark corner in Prague. What I'm trying to say is that it feels super real. It does feel real.
It looks real. I'll take the headset off and think that my brain believes that someone was in my space with me. I'll go tell my partner and say, hey, I just had I just hung out with a friend for like 30 minutes. And she'll be like, you're crazy. What are you talking about? But it imprints on the brain like this is good enough quality to interact with people, to feel like you're there. And it's not, the codec avatar, super high end, cutting, bleeding edge. But it's just good enough for our human constraints. And that's really the only thing is like, as humans, do we like this thing? And yes, this is so far, pretty good. Do we like the Horizon World avatars? Do those feel real? Not quite yet, but if they can bridge the gap somehow, maybe.
I have a question about your app, Beautiful Things.
Let's ask. Go for it.
Is it co-op? So if you bring a friend in, could you manipulate the same 3D object and look around it together?
Yes. So not only that, but we have a whole play mode where we both can be in the same space, co-decorate a space, add in things, and while we're on a spatial FaceTime. So we need to be on a share play. We need to be in a shared call like that. I don't think it'll work on this Zoom setting here, but we built all of that in so you can play with your things together.
That's cool.
It's probably the most fun I've ever had in the app. You build it and you need people, it's so early in this technology that like there's not documentation for everything. So it was like, I swear, like over 69 builds to get it to like function properly with in a decent way. And then you get into a space and like you can throw a dolphin at someone and it like glides into their face. And it's like the weirdest, like craziest thing. And it's been a lot of fun. But yes, you can do that in there. I still think, most people, at least for me, I don't know. Well, I know people in the VR space who have the headset, but like, the normal circle of friends around the place that you live, no one bought this thing. And so you can't, there's not many people you call up and you're able to just say like, let's jump into a spatial FaceTime, or we call them space times together and play and have fun.
FaceTime. Yes, I like
Space
it.
times. And so we more or less built out a community of people who are interested in that to be able to dive in and play around with these things. That's been a lot of fun. And it's the one, kind of point on this that I was surprised by was the first time when you meet someone and you have never met them in person. On Zoom, you have that barrier, right? Where you're like, I don't know this person, but like the screen is this little safe box. There's a handful of times where I invited strangers like into my house, and my brain was doing this like stranger danger. He's in your house. He could kill you. Like these things, like your brain starts firing.
Yeah.
Like, why is this person in my house? And you don't realize that that's really powerful, and that's
Yes,
also really strange. But this
absolutely.
technology unlocked that.
I had the moment where someone was in my kitchen, and I kid you not, I had something like some leftover food or something on the table, and I was like, oh shit, I should have cleaned it. Like in my mind, I was like, I should have, and I was like, wait a second.
They can't see it.
It doesn't see it. It's okay. But like that, and that moment, I was like, damn it, Apple, you did it again. Like this is crazy. Like this is crazy. And I really, I really love it. They
That's
really,
the
Have you two
that's
got the gaze pinch phenomenon in real life? So like TV menus, you think you can control it with eyes and pinch. I've seen a few of that.
the first time I used the device for a long period of time. So you get it, you test it, and then like that next day, I put like a couple hours in the headset, right, just to like deep dive on the tech. I took it off that night, and I went to, and my partner was like, make dinner. Like, you're in the set, like, what's going on in there? Like, you spent way too much time in there. So I take it off and I go into the kitchen and I open the cabinet and I start looking, waiting for things to highlight. I'm like just looking around.
yeah,
And
I had this as well. Yeah.
And it was like the spice cabinet, and you're like, I don't know what these spices are. And I'm looking at them, waiting to like have a little indicator, and none of it happened. And I thought, wow, that's very odd.
I had the same thing. I had the same thing with the TV. Was waiting to highlight so that I can turn it on. And also, I had the same thing when I was doing Vision Pro, and then I went to Somnium VR1 to PC VR to play the game. And I had my controllers, Knuckles controllers, they were off. And I was trying to do with the hand, like I was trying to pinch and turn on the game in Steam VR Home, which was there. I wanted to try it, and like I was not working. I was so frustrated. I was like, what the? And then I realized that, oh, I have to have controllers. So like, yeah, that's the part. That's what fascinates me is that Meta has been doing it for so many years before Apple. Obviously, Apple was working in the background, and Apple is the one who figure out the best so far, the best way to operate in a spatial environment. How is it even possible?
Fucking kicks ass.
Like, how is it even possible? If I'd be Zuck, honestly, and I have a team of people, smartest people in the industry, okay, with amazing salaries out there, I'm pretty sure they're doing well. And I get the Vision Pro and I see how they made the operating system to operate. I would put all the guys together who are in charge of operating and hand tracking and everything. And I would say, like, you mother peep, like, what the hell is this? Like, how is it even possible? Either you do it something like this or you're all fired like in 2 months or whatever. I don't know, because I would be pissed. I would be pissed as the someone who leading that thing. I would be pissed that someone just overtook us without even us noticing. That would be pretty hard to.
Yeah. See, I thought you was rallying me up, winding me up when you said how good it was. I thought you were just having me on, but then when I tried it, it just.
Yeah, you recently tried it for the first time.
Yeah, it makes amazing sense, and it works amazingly well.
Well, I would love to hear, like, what did you think before you tried it? And because you heard months of hype and probably everyone just either raving about it or hating on it, and then you try it. Like, what was the before and after? Like, I guess thinking on the device.
With me, I know Apple do amazing software and amazing. When they build something, they build it proper. So although I wouldn't say I'm an Android fanboy, but I am deep in the Android side. I've never had an iPhone. I've used plenty of iPads, and I've used Apple stuff before, and their headphones, they're incredible. So I knew it was going to be amazing, but I didn't realize. You put it on and go, you fuck yeah, this is worth $3,500. I can see it now. This can easily replace my sound system. This can easily replace my TV. My main, VR workflow headset. It's just. I knew it was good, but then it took it a step further. 100%.
I think so. I put him when
100%.
when he came to Prague for Sony Connect. The first thing I put him in was the latest immersive video demo, which they have.
Yes.
And I love the reactions. Like when I should have recorded it. Like when he was seeing those things, and the Apple is doing really great job with those trailers.
I'm used to it. I play VR every day. Since the DK2. But there was a bit where a boar came towards me in the trailer. I went like that. I knew it wasn't there, but my brain was like, yeah, it's there. He's going to hit you in the fucking face. You better catch it. Nah,
yeah. And
unbelievable.
What do you think, Shota, as well for you? Because you've seen this device in pictures, but then you saw it in real life. What do you think about the build quality and just the way how it looks and feels? Did you like it or not?
It feels like the interior of an Aston Martin. It's a lot smaller than I thought it would be. It feels dense, but in a good way. And that strap, I want bed sheets made out of it.
Yeah,
that strap's amazing.
That thing is. I want sweater out of it. I swear.
I felt nervous holding it. I just felt nervous. Like this is some serious. This is a slab of beef. This is lovely. I want it on my face now.
Was it comfortable for you? Was it comfortable for you? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I have no problem. Like I know people complain about, it's being front heavy or whatever, and the strap, the solo band strap is not for me. It's perfect. I can do 2 hours and it no problem at all.
But I think me and you we're not the best candidates for that because we like to really.
Yeah, we're right. Tighten things up. Yeah, I like tighten things up.
Like head crab to the face. We like it. You can't feel any kind of air between it.
Man, do you use the solo loop band or the dual one?
I don't. I do the dual loop band almost consistently unless I have to like rapidly take it on and off, and then I'll do the solo or doing demos. I think that's an easier one to like get on people's head, adjust the size, and get that more comfortable. And so that's the only time I use that. I think that this is all speculation, but like it's so beautiful, that band, the engineering, the amount of resources that went into like the textile alone that needed to be the marquee image with this device, and it looks better with it. It just feels worse over time, and I think that was probably an internal back and forth between which one are we running with, and that's why they give us two. How weird is that? Is that you have two bands on this? But one thing that you all did really, really great when this launched, you're building out a VR headset, you're deep in the PC VR community, and you come out and say, hey, this device is great. Whereas the other side, you see Zuck come out and say, well, it's not that great, we have something better, and blah, 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 and just lied. Internally, they probably bought dozens of Vision Pros, brought them inside, and reverse engineered them. And the right approach is, no, this is something great. This is some awesome piece of technology here. And it shows off something to come.
I can, I have no problem praising, like, for example, some might say, for what are you saying, Matt? Some might say, but yeah, Artur, Vision Pro is not your competition because you are in PCVR and they are in standalone. Fair enough, but, I loved Valve Index with all my heart. Like, Valve Index is a great headset with an amazing, set of tools in it. I respect I loved HTC in the past when they were doing, great stuff, and then they kind of gradually went downhill and things. But if I also have some negative things to say about some PC VR headsets which are in the market. I love the fact that like if we talk about Vario, for example, or Pimax, I don't want to bash the competition, so I don't want to say, like, if I have some good things to say, but I also have quite a bit of negative things to say. But if I start doing that, I'd rather say nothing, So it's easy for me to say great things about Vision Pro because I truly love the device. I really do. I truly love the device. It's an amazing device. Apple done an incredible job with this device. There's barely nothing I don't like about the device. I think the only negatives I can come up with are on the visual side, because they had to do a lot of visual compromises on the lenses and how the visuals are done. But again, for what the device is built for, they've done an incredible job, and I think they squeezed maximum out of optics they could in 2024. But yeah,
what are your negatives? Just out of curiosity, what are the visual negatives for you?
Yeah,
because for me, it's definitely brightness is one of them for me.
Yeah, brightness, of course. But even if I would forget about brightness, I would say the field of view is quite small. The also color shifting and chromatic aberrations on the sides gets pretty intense if you look on the sides, and because the field of view is smaller, you kind of tend to look more and see it more rather than just completely moving the head all the time. And I would say glare and motion blur. Like, I think the glare is something which bothers me a lot, and that's the inherent thing of pancake lenses, or at least current generation of pancake lenses. That's why I love aspheric lenses, because you almost don't get any glare. You get a crystal clear in the dark environments. You have no ghosting, no glare, nothing. And here you get a lot of that.
Keep telling me.
Yeah, exactly.
Your headset has ruined every single VR headset I own.
Guilty.
I'm not. I don't beat around the bush when I say things like this. You have literally ruined my lovely Pico 4, my Quest 3, my Valve Index. It's just it doesn't hit the same anymore, man.
I'm sorry. I'm not sorry.
It doesn't hit the same anymore, man. I'm gonna cry.
I know. No, but that's, I think, the optics is something I would kind of, because I'm deep into it, I would say Apple have to do better in the next iteration. For example, Quest 3, they have quite good optics. Like, I have to give it to them. They have quite good optics. They have quite a good sweet spot, and things like that. But for example, Quest 3 is not a comfortable device for me. Like, it's just not. I cannot help myself. So it's very personal. But in terms of PC VR headsets, if we talk about Vario, I respect Vario as the company who does PC VR headsets. I think in terms of visual quality, we're better than them. I like the way how they try to approach the comfort and the strap. They quite tend to put a lot of time and thinking in the strap, which we did as well, but we did it in a more modular and open way. They do it in a more kind of anchored to your device way. So you buy one and that's what you use. And but I look at the companies as general, how they approach the customers, how they communicate their promises, how do they update the software, what's the quality of the devices, are there any problems? And there, I think a lot of things are kind of negative in terms of in terms of Pimax and Vario. So I'd rather say nothing. I respect all of the companies who are trying to build new things in PC VR market. Absolutely, I do, because I think it helps the market. But I have nothing more to say.
I've said everything. No more.
I like a politician. Yes, I have nothing more to say in that respect.
Anyway, Matt, what kind of? I'm assuming, because you have the dev kit too, didn't you? So what is your favorite PC VR headset? What do you use? Do you even use PC VR anymore, or are you just purely Apple Vision Pro?
I have stopped on PC VR, and so I was in LA, and I had to return. It was an Oculus standalone PC VR. It was the not CV1,
the Rift S.
Yeah, and that was stolen out of my car because there was a cable issue with it, and that was my last kind of PC VR headset.
It was a great headset, by the way. It was a great headset. I have to say, it was a great headset.
Last one I owned and purchased myself. That's not to say having office spaces in some of the VR communities, you have wide range of access to all of these things. So you could dive in, try them out, try the latest and greatest, and then go back to it. But I took a detour kind of in 2018 to 2020 into doing stuff in space. And so I kind of stepped out of the XR world while some of the PC VR headsets some of the newer ones were coming to market. And kind of spent all of my focus in space and space related things at that time. And so back now, I'm just a Quest 3 and a Vision Pro, and I've had basically all the Quests since then. And part of it was I didn't use it enough, and I think a lot of people struggle with that. Is each time you buy a device, you're like, "This is the one I'm going to use. This is it." And I kept lying to myself each time that this was going to be the one that I'd spend a lot more time in because of X, Y, and Z. And the reality was that that just wasn't who I was. I wasn't deep in VR chat or spending a lot of time in those communities like that. And so I didn't really have a need for it. And
see, this is what I was saying on the Pixel Slaves Live, Artur. There's so much hype in new hardware, but there's no software to back it up. You buy a Quest 1 to play Beat Saber, and you buy a Quest 2 to play Beat Saber. You buy a Quest 3 to play Beat Saber. It seems Apple Vision Pro, there's more hype in the software because the device is already shit hot. But in like the Quest line, there's no new things to go with the new toys. Does that make sense? Am I making sense there?
You are kind of, because I think I know what you're hinting at. I think for me, I think Vision Pro still lacks some apps, and Apple is trying hard. Like, I think that right now there is an opportunity window to create a good app, and Apple will feature it and will do its best to show it to people because they need some good content. And so far, it's coming, but not at pace Apple probably was wishing for, which is fine. Because why I'm saying it's fine, because I know Apple is here for a long run. Apple is not a company which is doing a headset and then doing 180 turn in half a year because they sold 200,000 less headsets than anticipated. No. I think they have a 4, 5, 6 years plan in terms of what they're going to be releasing, maybe even longer. And they will stick to it. They have money, they have resources, and I see that they do things right. I see that the progression of the OS, even with those updates coming, it's in the right direction. Again, maybe it's slower than I want. Maybe the updates are not as substantial and they're coming maybe slower and stuff, but they're bringing it. They're bringing the content. They're bringing the updates. So for me, I think that's the whole, you just described the whole story of VR. We all thought that VR will be everywhere. We all thought that it will be, in every home and stuff. By this time, there will be billions of devices and whatnot. And we're still kind of a niche. I think Meta should have concentrated on building amazing games. Like, they should buy, and instead of spending billions on whatever they're spending it on, honestly, they should just spend billions and create incredible games which will bring people into their ecosystem, because they're a gaming console company and they should embrace that and they should do a great job. Like, how many years ago they promised GTA 5 San Andreas into Quest? It's a meme already. How do you allow something like this to become a meme and not even address it? Like, you should.
Again, it's the whole bouncing around, not knowing what the fuck to do.
Yeah, but listen, okay, rant mode back. I'm back. So
it went away. When did it go away?
Imagine? Now I'm angry. I'm angry because they, like, when Google announced partnership with Samsung for their XR device, right? 2 weeks later, literally 2 freaking weeks later, Mark Zuckerberg went to Korea and announced a huge partnership with LG and how they will bring their device together and it will be amazing XR device, and LG is doing it, and the Quest Pro 2 will be LG, blah, 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 blah. 2 months later, the plan is canceled. LG quietly backed down from this, and everybody forgot about it, and then we read in the news that it's all canceled. And then someone announced something, and Mark says, oh my God, we need to do something. And then there's a big, actually not that big, was a press release, announcement of Meta Horizon OS and how they will be doing, how other device manufacturers will be actually creating devices with Meta Horizon. And then smart people in the articles like Upload VR, Road to VR, and also, other guys on Twitter, if you think for 5 minutes about this, you think, like, why would Acer try to compete at a price level with Meta, who subsidizes their devices, to create device on Meta Horizon, which they have to pay still 30% to them, to Facebook, when they sell app? Like, what's the whole point for Acer or LG or anyone who is Razer build their own headsets if they will be dependent on Meta, paying to Meta, and competing with the price with Meta, who subsidize their device? It doesn't make sense. So my gut feeling was to say, okay, first of all, the press release was written really badly. Second of all, I don't think that even a single device with the Horizon OS will actually see the sun, the light of the sun. Maybe one, and then it will be over. And again, it just shows you how desperate that is. Do you remember how Quest 3 was presented? The Quest 3 was presented very early baked, not finished versions before Vision Pro was presented. Several weeks before. Why? They rushed it.
Yeah, they came out ahead and they needed to get out, and then it's all chasing sound bites where they put out, they needed their competitive story to be, no one's going to pay $4,500 for that device, but we have something that does everything the same at this price point. And like working backwards from the press hit, and same with, Acer coming in. They come in and say, oh shoot, Apple's doing something. We got to figure something out. Let's just call up folks and let's make an announcement and do something. And then it slowly dies. It's like that's not a cohesive vision. That's not a cohesive strategy. That is not a way to build the future. It's a way to catch up and scramble and try to be involved, but it doesn't work that way.
Why?
Building something great.
Zuck is not a, I would understand if heck I would do it, or a smaller company would do it, because we're small, nobody cares, whatever. The startups, they need to raise funding, they need to have attention, blah 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 blah. But we're talking about Meta, $1 trillion company. Who is he trying to appeal to or prove something? Like to himself?
Maybe he's just bored.
No, he's not
doing
bored.
it for
I think he has a complex of not achieving something. I don't know. Like it's strange, because he's freaking sitting on billions of dollars of fund. He doesn't need to raise funds. He doesn't need to convince almost anyone. He needs to convince himself, and himself only, that that's the thing he wants to do. Literally, like there's no one else controlling him to do anything he likes to do. So why is he trying to chase something? He can just sit there and say, fine, you can have that. You can do that. We are doing our stuff, and we're doing it in the best possible way. And it's a long-term vision. And I don't care what happens next year. I freaking care what happens in 10 years. And that's my goal. And that's my plan. Honestly, I even do it for Somnium Space. I don't try to chase every trend. I don't try to, the NFTs were hype, and then they were dead, and they were hype again. They were dead again. I didn't care. Like, we're building our stuff. We're still using blockchain. We're still using Insomnium Space. But I have a vision for, 3+ years or 5+ years for hardware and software. And I might be wrong, but at least I'm not nervous. I'm building it. I'm watching the trends, but I'm not jumping around saying, oh my God, Vario has introduced the XR4. I need to call my headset VR XR4 5 minus 2 plus. I don't care. I know my plan, and I execute the plan. So that's what I don't understand about, like, why is he so desperate? He doesn't need to be. You're doing fine, man. If you're watching, I hope you're doing fine. Relax.
If you are struggling, come to Pixel Slaves, and we'll have a little chat, and we'll chill out a little bit, and we'll have a little bit of banter.
We'll pat you on the back. We'll say, man, you're doing great stuff.
Well done.
Just forget about all the bad. Let's do do some stuff. Relax. I think he needs to relax.
It's okay. You've got an Apple Vision Pro at home. It's fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Okay. Enough of Meta. Okay. Zuck, we love you. Mark, it's all good, but come on, man. Actually, we don't love you so much, but it's okay.
I don't know the guy, so he might be alright in real life, or you never know.
I don't know.
What I'll say, he's trying to do hard things as best he can, and it doesn't seem like there is maybe a singular vision or a singular focus. They're doing a lot of things and trying a lot of things, and you hope that the human behind it has good intent and trying to build something really great. And I think you see that sometimes. It was great to see him really dog food in the headset on the beach over the weekend with your family. That's a great sign for a product builder when you're using your thing on the beach.
Yeah, amen. Let's hope that I only hope that he has peace in his mind and soul, and that he's, satisfied with what he's doing, because sometimes you can get caught up so much in building, and I think it, Matt. You're building and you're pushing yourself, but sometimes it's important to just sit down, look at what you've built at whatever state it is, and appreciate what has come up out of it. What has came up out of it. Because to me, it's the same thing. Building VR1, building something like, you get into this thing. But Somnium Connect, for example, was amazing, because not only we show it to people what we have built, but I had a chance to look at people using it and reacting to it. And that helps. It helps to understand, hey, we're actually doing something right. Nothing is ideal, but we're trying, and we're trying to do it in the right way. And that helps. That just helps me to kind of stay sane, to be honest, because otherwise I would have gone completely insane until now.
Well, I'm quite envious of Matt because he's not seen the visuals of VR1, so all his headsets, they're still amazing to him.
I can't wait. I had major FOMO from all the news coming in Prague. Y'all seem to be doing it right with that device, and can't wait for more and more people to try it and get my hands on one as well.
Oh, it is insane.
The mixed reality in VR1 is better than Vision Pro. That I can tell for sure. Oof. The quality.
100%.
Yeah,
100%.
Let's go.
Yeah, no question. I mean, it's of course, you don't have the apps like this, so you need to have PC VR apps to do that. But the quality of the pass-through to read the things on the monitor on the phone, definitely better. Like, again, I love Vision Pro, but there are some limitations, and VR1 overcomes those limitations. Obviously, you're tethered to a PC. That's a different story. Okay, other news, apart from Meta, what do we have in the world happening? Like, what caught your eyes, guys? In the
Disney Holotile? I know it's quite old, but the Holotile, that looks quite interesting.
Holotile? What's the Holotile?
Have you not seen the Holotile?
I have not seen the Holotile.
Oh man!
Oh my god! What is this?
Pull it up.
Pull it up.
The Disney's Holotile. Have a look at that. That's insane.
Oh, the walking thing?
The walking thing.
Oh, okay. Okay, listen.
When can I have one of them in my shed?
So I tried the guys from, what's the company? The shoes, the walking shoes, the Free Aim.
Yep.
So the guys from Free Aim visited us in Prague to showcase Free Aim for what, I don't know, like maybe 8-10 months ago. I don't remember. Maybe it's a year ago or something like that. I have Cat VR. You know, you saw Shota. I have Cat VR in the office, and we used that as well. We tested it. Now, I'm pretty good in VR locomotion. I'm never getting dizzy and stuff. So Cat VR to me was something I was not able to get used to because it's just too awkward. You need to, pull the body forward and you need to move, and it's just not the same thing as walking. So that I used it for a while for testing, and I never use it again. It's still standing in the office. That's number one. The Free Aim shoes were better than that, but they were introducing a lot of other things you need to get used to, which to me at that time, they became better right now, I think, because they're progressing all the time. But at that point, to me, it was slightly awkward to use them because, again, while you're walking, but you cannot run properly, or you try to walk faster, slower, it brings a lot of, friction in your brain and between what you see and how you feel. The Holotile, I think it's something in between, but what I saw there is that they have this latency between you stopping walking and it's still sliding a little bit. And the Holotile had that. And I had the same thing in Free Aim, which is fine.
Like recenters you.
Yeah, which is fine for some people. But for me, that delay between you stop and then you still slide a little bit more was something which was kind of a deal breaker at that time. Again, I think it will become better, and I think Disney will use it in their parks because that's what it is about mainly. But there's a lot of work from the video I've seen. There's a lot of work still to be done to make it like as realistic as possible.
But wouldn't that be amazing? Of all things Disney done, and they accidentally make the best locomotive, for VR, XR. Yeah, obviously they're gonna use it for they're mainly doing it for their parks and their attractions.
Yeah.
But I can see like a little platform over there with little discs that I can pretend to waddle on. That's the next thing.
I think we're far away from that, and Disney is the company who would never take any responsibility for you falling down in your place.
Oh no, that'd be the bottle of whiskey that I had before, and
yeah, but that's the whole point. They would not know how you would use it, but if you'd fall down and break your neck, then Disney would be liable, and this is their worst nightmare ever.
True, yeah.
So they would never come up with it. I think they would never put it as a final product to the market, like never ever. I don't see it happening.
I see people wanting that, you said you have a shed, your VR shed, right? We're going to have that. What's the closest way to shed the biological form? And I think those types of things, the full motion capture suits, those types of the haptic suits, all of those will play into that, where we'll keep striving for that. There'll probably be a fringe market for that. You all know better than I, but I think that is a really compelling thing of like, I want to be there. I want to have full freedom. I want to feel like I'm walking in a space and not put on these giant boots. And if you could build something at a low cost in the backyard, heck, that could be awesome.
Artur ran mode back. Artur ran mode back. 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago, Samsung has shown on the CES, I think it was CES or IFA Berlin, I don't remember, but one of us, I'll freaking find it. They have shown headphones with piezoelectric mode in them, which was in combination with a VR headset. At that time, it was Gear VR, I think. They were showing that they can, with the piezoelectric impulses, control your inner ear, which we all know controls the way how you feel in the space and how you feel falling and flying and sitting and lying. So you feel your physical kind of well-being. They were controlling with a small current the inner ear, and they were able to make you believe that when you were flying in VR, you were flying in real life and falling down and going up. That to me, and people were amazed. I remember the articles, and I was like, yeah, that's it. That's freaking it. Because if they can control your inner ear with this, direct current, then they can control how you feel in VR. And suddenly flying will feel like real flying. And then you heard nothing. They scraped it, you heard nothing. And the last thing I heard about it from some insiders is that they scrapped it because they were afraid, or they didn't want to proceed, or someone in management didn't want to proceed the way to certify those to kind of like CE certify an FCC so that it's safe electrically or whatever. But honestly, they could have done it. Like, there were no showstoppers. It's possible. And that would have been amazing. Are you kidding me? If I can feel like really flying in VR, with the help of those headphones, that's it. And they were just buds. They were small headphones. You didn't need to wear anything bulky. They were just putting enough small current into your inner ear to make you feel differently.
AirPods. Here we go. You maybe Apple shelved it all, and we have the AirPods that make us fly.
Because they've got
I
that
really
special
hope they do.
low latency thing, haven't they? In the Apple the AVP and the latest.
Yes.
Is it AirPods
Yes.
Pro?
Yes.
Is it?
The
Or
USB-C
Max?
AirPods Pro 2, they have the low latency chip, which they've put into those AirPods way before they released the Vision Pro. They knew that the Vision Pro is coming. But man, like I need to find that article because and those videos, because again, those headphones from Samsung, I honestly thought like that's it. That's the beginning of new era. It's something you would be able to use, and those kind of accessories, like Tesla suit, for example, it can make you feel like Tesla suit can make you feel even frightened from applying small current, which you don't feel on your body. You don't feel it. Like, it's nothing which you can feel, but the body feels it. And with a small current in some zones of your body, it can make you feel more frightened in some certain areas without you even realizing it. Like, that's how powerful this kind of technology is. The problem is nobody's, except like Tesla, for example, but nobody's progressing with it. Like big guys like Samsung, they just ditched it. And that's, I think, where Mark, for example, should spend a lot of money, because that's the type of, if I had, $2 billion, let's say, if I had $2 billion for Somnium, that's the type of kind of, inventions I would try to bring to the market to proceed with the full dive VR and full immersion space. But I don't have 2 billion, so Mark, you have to do it, man.
Mark, lend me 1 billion. We'll get it done.
Just one.
Just one.
I don't want his money. There's a dirty money. I don't want his money.
I'll have your money, Mark.
Those are money with all the privacy scandals and stuff. I don't want those money. I don't want to touch that. Honestly, it's like, yeah. No, but those headphones were amazing.
If we had some patents that we sold to Samsung back around that time, and it seemed like early in that time period, people were doing a land grab of what could be valuable in this future. We could see the hardware was catching up. Apple was building something, and then all of these kind of side companies were exploring kind of, if these form factors go down, how do we build up our patent portfolio to go against this future, or to compete
Wait, you
in the
sold
future?
patents to Samsung?
Yes.
Tell us
So
more.
contact.
Tell us more.
After kind of how I got into XR, I started a classroom XR kits for K-12 education. Started demoing that around, and instantly was pulled into a AR VR venture production studio where we would just prototype AR and VR ideas on some of those early devices. And ultimately what that led to was a patent portfolio for a bunch of different things. Two sold to Samsung during my time there. There have been offers for the rest of the portfolio since. For
and this
Samsung
is software mainly, or hardware too?
It was software. There was some hardware things. The contact related patents were sold to Samsung. So they were, and part of that was like, why are you we're not going to get to that form factor anytime soon. People aren't going to but it was all future thinking, far distant future of what is to come, and they wanted to be kind of ready in that way. We did a lot of fun stuff, more or less. It was thinking about the future, and then how can we build out a portfolio for that. And so one of my favorites from that time was the reality slider, which was you could gradually increase and decrease the perception of reality. Ultimately, it's very similar to what the dial is on the Vision Pro. So we built that one out. That was a lot of fun, and some others related to geolocated 3D content, et cetera, et cetera. But that was, Skunkworks kind of just build crazy, wild things, and that was 2017 to 2019, going into 2020.
Nice. Wow. Okay. So Samsung, you bought those patents. Come on, do something about it. Don't let that money be spent for nothing. Yeah,
well,
exactly.
They sold the reality one to Apple, so the reality slider. So that was being used.
That would be a bummer.
That one, there was offers made on it, but that's still in the portfolio. And so at that level, they're just, you think they're just kind of like, keep your hands off the nukes for everyone around. Hey, we have these ones, you have these ones, let's make a deal together. And arguably, it comes down to the day, no one's got the money to go against these big companies to take them to court like that. So.
Yeah, and honestly, I think there are things which definitely make sense to go into core for if someone really steals the technology and it's some core technology. But if we're talking about some software features, yes, they're important. Some software features are incredibly important. But honestly, if you keep innovating as the company on the OS level, then you would be better off innovating on the OS level and spending money and time on that, rather than trying to find someone not to build the same thing, even though they could do it in 30 different ways. Like, I think it's a counterproductive thing to do. I mean, today I updated Quest 3 and just wanted to look at the pass-through update, and I saw that how they try to stylize those windows around in a kind of same way as the Apple Vision Pro windows, with the same bars and stuff. And I was like, okay, I mean, they're trying, but this is not the same thing. At least to me, it was not the same thing. Yeah, I mean, wow, you patents, space, man, you have done a lot of things, Matt.
Well, similarly, we've been around a while, and you see all these. I think part of this was what's Apple going to do? When are they going to come out with a device? And I expected it a lot earlier than when it came out. But
yeah, everybody.
I think the more time you spend in this space, there's awesome humans doing cool things, and we all recognize that the future of humanity is in these kind of spaces and these kind of worlds, and people are going to be spending a lot more time. And my nieces and nephews are all playing Gorilla Tag nonstop. They're all in these devices, and that's their future. They'll have a weird time, and it's up to us to kind of try to build in the space and hopefully influence it a little bit and make a dent in a positive direction, and not sell people's data to the highest bidder.
I agree with you, but I first of all, amen for the data selling point. I know Mark is still watching, so he knows exactly what we're talking about.
We're talking right to him.
Exactly, we're talking right to him, like that. But what I want to say is that I remember when speaking to Philip Rosedale, who is the founder of Second Life, and then he went and built high fidelity VR app. Then he closed it, and we were kind of at some point we were communicating quite a lot because we were together. We created the blockchain game alliance, or not the blockchain game alliance, but the virtual reality blockchain alliance. We call it VRBA. And actually, in 2018, we created first nodes of the own blockchain on our own servers, and we wanted to be, having this kind of confirming transactions between our world, between Somnium and High Fidelity. So and we were trying to add some other companies to it so that there will be kind of decentralized way of confirming transactions between those worlds. And it's and it should have been decentralized, and interoperability should have been there as well. And I remember when he closed High Fidelity, when it didn't work out for him, I remember we were talking and he told me something in line with, Artur, I'm not sure that we are building, and I hope he doesn't mind me saying this, but that we are building something, we're building it for us, but we are not the target audience. And I kind of agree and disagree. In one hand, I am the target audience because I do like to spend time in social VR. Now, the question is, the next generation, what you say, your the smaller kids, what are they playing? They're playing Gorilla Tag. And now the question is, do they play this because there's nothing better than that? That's still my belief, that you can bring those kids. My idea of metaverse is you are in one huge space. It's persistent, it's big, and you meet new people, and then you go and play the Gorilla Tag, but it's all seamless. You don't need to go from one app to another. You just dive into those experiences, you dive out, you go with friends, and you socialize, and it's all one big place. So that's kind of how I see it. Right now, it's very, even though it's all on Horizon OS, but it's still fractioned. It's you go to this app, you download that app, you close this, you are not with you. But I'm imagining it in one persistent space. And I think that that's what I want. And I also think that what kids want, because they, you still want to be this I believe that persistence is one of the most important parts, honestly, in the whole metaverse thing. If you break the experience, if you need to, like, every loading screen, every lose contact with your friend, every crash, every diving into the different world, diving out, and you're losing the contact and the perception of the world, that's what breaks the immersion. That's what breaks the stuff. But once it's one big place and you can play the game here, go and visit this museum and talk to this friend and go and buy those things, and it's all in one big place, that's, to me, that's the holy grail. And I believe to many people, and even kids, that is the holy grail they want to experience. But I might be wrong, because I don't know. I'm not a kid anymore.
I think you're right. Once you have that kind of shared persistent space that everyone can dive into and start there as like the starting screen to go off and do those things, that's where you'll meet your friends. Right now, it's their friends are in Gorilla Tag, so they're just meeting there. They don't have another place, a home space to enter into and meet up with. I think we see some of these, precursors when you meet up on the spatial FaceTimes and things like that, VR chat, etc. Like, that's what they're craving. We were talking about World of Warcraft kind of before this, and like you start playing because you heard someone, or you get into it, you start playing, your friends are there. As soon as they leave that game, you kind of stop playing that game and goes to the next game or a different game. I think it's very tribal in that sense. And right now it's Gorilla Tag because that's where their shared context is. But eventually it'll just be, let's just dive on in, put the headset in, and meet up and go.
We need something to replace, because at the minute, in this world, it's a chat app first, like Discord, and then it's the game, and then it's the application. I think it should all be, if we can all get it in just one nice package, where I just put the headset on, or whatever it is, and we toddle off, and, Doom's over there. Party up, go and walk into Doom. Yeah, basically like Ready Player One. That, please. Now, we got the tech.
We kind of do. I think also like platforms like Discord, they should be incorporated into that metaverse, right? 100%. So you should be able to pull off the Discord and have it with you while you're playing the game, and have those messages pop up. but I'm questioning myself, like, how do you guys meet your friends online? You know, what's the most often place you meet them? Is it Discord, for all of you, or
For me, yeah.
for me, it's
iMessage.
iMessage. Okay, iMessage. I'm a Discord guy, I guess. Yeah. I can say that this is the way where how I communicate with most of the people.
But yeah, Discord as well. I mean, that's probably the where now there's a good aggregate of people in there, or enough that they have an account to communicate with.
Discord came out of nowhere.
Yeah, I remember.
it just appeared. Like, oh, this looks good, and then it became the world biggest. Still isn't it? It's still
I
the
remember
biggest.
I was like, Discord. Someone was telling me Discord. You have to try Discord. I'm like, Discord, man. I don't know, man. What is this Discord? I don't
Bring
I
back
don't need
Ventrilo.
another. Yeah, I
That's
don't
what we
need.
need.
I need another like app in my life. And then slowly but steadily we started, and I think it's like because of Somnium, because I did a Somnium Discord, and it became pretty big, and many people started to join, and we became the verified Discord and things like that. So that's how I got into Discord. So I had to manage the Somnium one. But yeah, I love the app. It's actually like even for business, it's a very functional app. It runs very well. You can share the files all in one place, and the media, and here and there, and tag people, and it's a very functional app. It's just a very well made app right now.
Maybe they'll make something spatial. Who knows?
I mean, if Discord is... Yeah, go ahead, man.
They just partnered with Sony, and I mean, that would be a pretty good for direct integration into PlayStation 5. And so if they did something with the PlayStation, give some use to the PlayStation headset, that'd be pretty awesome.
Get some use to the headset, bless it. It's got no love, has it?
No love.
No. PSVR 2 is like I've used it. So we bought PS5, we bought PSVR to the office. I used it first day, and a little bit second day, and I've never used it again. It's just
it was quite dusty in that office. I have to admit.
It's just there. It's just standing there. It's there. It's still there. To all the respect, it's still there. But I was like, I don't know. There's a few things which made me completely not appreciate the device. And again, all the respect to them doing it, loved it. Everything is fine. I love them trying. And for many people who just own PS5, it's a great device, by the way. But I was like, nah, it's not for me. What I wanted to say is, for the Discord, imagine, Matt, what they could do if they do native Vision OS app Discord, what they could do. Oh my God. This could be some killer application. It could be the universe in Vision OS by itself. Like Discord could become the whole, spatial universe. I'm not sure they're doing it. I don't think they are, but
they are pushing shared games and gaming experiences. I know there's more investment kind of going into some of those mini games that you can play built inside the Discord. If you do some sort of combination with WebXR or something like that, there could be something really interesting there that you can that would be your gateway portal into all of these experiences. And ultimately, I think we're just looking for things to do in the headset. The PSVR example is there just wasn't enough to do when you got it. There was X amount of titles, there was limited usage there, and we'll get there. But that's the big challenge right now: is we need more compelling things to do consistently.
The answer is social and user-generated content. That is the answer.
Is there an Omegle for Vision Pro? Is there a Talk to Strangers app for Vision
Pro? Oh my God, that's a good idea, actually. That would be hilarious. No, there isn't. There
was something that came up.
Make it, Matt. I'll take 1%. Make it.
All right, we'll put it in. No, shout out to some anonymous dev on the internet who built something similar. I don't know if it took off around the launch of spatial personas, but that is like big. You got to meet. How do you meet new people in the headset? That's a problem to be solved, and a problem for another day.
I would download that
really
app
cool.
Instantly.
I would as well, just to be a prick on it.
I would do it instantly. Like you put the number, you put the number, your number in.
Random.
The person who you call with, they don't know your number, so you can kind of hide this thing. The app handles that, and then you just connect to people and randomly,
and a random person's in your room,
people, and let them talk.
Hello.
Like that will be the funniest and the most used app on Vision Pro by a mile. I guarantee. If that is the build, I would use it for sure. I would use it every day for like maybe half an hour. Just have fun. Because one thing is to see someone in video. Another thing is to see the person right next to you. And it's a completely different environment. Like, can you imagine how many new friends could be done, how many hilarious moments could be recorded,
how much content will be from that for
how much
for
content
YouTubers?
would be from that. But also what I wanted to say, people might fall in love because we all know spatial personas are very real, like very real. It feels like it's a real person because it is. And that would be unbelievable. Like I need to explore with like how to build something like that. Like, will Apple allow you to take the phone number from someone and just connect them randomly without showing the numbers? I'm not sure. Probably could be a problem there.
Yeah, not yet in FaceTime. We've done something similar where you can create a FaceTime link. We have a community for spatial meetups, and that's probably the closest thing. But it just is like a Zoom link or something like that to start. And at the end, people all get your number when you join the call. It's still in your contact list, so there's no anonymizing yet. But that could be something for the future. There's a lot of opportunity on the platform and in the space, and man, it's such an exciting time to build.
I'm just gonna buy an Apple Vision Pro and learn how to build on it. 1 second.
Very good, very good. Listen, one thing I learned in my life is, Shudder, my favorite saying is vision without execution is hallucination. That is what I believe in. Like many people have brilliant ideas, within a span of a year. Like sometimes you get some great ideas. But it's not about the idea. It's about actually making it happen. Because from the moment you have the idea to the moment you ship the product, you'll have so many ups and downs. You'll have so many near-death moments and frustrations and all the other things where 95% of people or 99% of people will just drop the ball and never finish it. And the 1% who will finish it, they will eventually succeed if they will continue doing it. Like that's the whole point. That's the key to success. Thank you. You're welcome. Guys, take it and live it. Like just do it. Literally, that's it. There's no, I mean, you need to be persistent. That's what you need to be. You need to really do it. So yeah, I mean, it's a good idea. The chat roulette from Envision Pro. I'd use it for sure.
Coming to the App Store next week.
Okay, I'm not that fast, but that would be. You are fine, Matt. You can build it. I know you can do it.
Do it.
We'll
tell you
we'll
what, I'll have an Apple Vision Pro for my idea.
Let's do it. Well, we're doing
a fair trade.
doing a spatial hackathon coming up here in the fall, and so if you do get one, or even if you don't, you can build and test them on the devices, and that'll just be to try to get some new experiences out into the world for us to try. There's really a lack of great content, and if we can push that a little bit further, we'll give it our best shot there.
Fantastic. All right. Any other closing news, guys, you want to discuss? Anything not related to XR, cars, or anything? What's new in the cars industry? Matt, are you a car guy? Are you driving the car, or you're more Uber style, not owning the car?
No, I'm a car enthusiast and a die-hard Honda CR-V fan. I will have a Honda CR-V the rest of my life. It is a stable, efficient vehicle, but there's a lot better designed vehicles. Car design is super fascinating. The art form of designing something and then turning that into like the manufacturing process behind all of that and still maintaining a quality of design. So much respect there for that, and been cool to see what
Honda CR-V.
Yeah.
How do you end up in the Honda CR-V fan club?
I don't know, but there's also, if you go on the there's the Reddits for like diehard CR-V fans, you'll find me in there. Like going back, like my dream car is a Gen 1 CR-V. You got a table in the back that pops out. You got a full like dinner table ready to go. They're it's a balance of durability and efficiency, and there's nothing excessive about it. It has everything you need and nothing you don't. And never had an issue with them, and will continue to drive them. I predict, hopefully, I never get to minivan territory, but I will be in the CR-V as long as I have a choice of it.
Damn.
Now, before minivan, you got to go through the Volvo stage.
No. Though I did.
Which make amazing car. I love Volvo.
I drove an old like SC70 to Burning Man last year, and it had you could put a full bed in the back. It was crazy. It was wild. And that car was like 20, 30 years old. It was like before I was born. It was crazy.
So Honda Civic. I mean, my first car. Okay, I tell the story. When I was a student, I dreamed about Honda Accord car, and I remember I found like in early days on the internet, Honda had really amazing websites where you can open all the doors and click all the buttons in the interior and exterior and stuff. So I remember looking at the car and just like exploring, and I'm like, man, that's a beautiful car. You know, Honda Accord is a great car. Like I talk about the European one, not the US one. And then when I fast forward many years, I was working, and then I was looking to buy a car myself in Germany, because I was working in Germany, and I stumbled upon. So first I was like, okay, my budget was allowing me to buy like Opel Astra, something like that, like a smaller car, or maybe Seat Ibiza, you know, like those type of cars. And then I stumbled upon Honda because it was after the crisis. It was 2009, and it was after the crisis. And I see Honda, and I see Accord for the price of Ibiza, the new one, Type S, the sports one. I was like, what? That cannot be true. So I called the dealer. I was like, hey guys, I see this advertisement on your website. You're selling this car. Like, is the price correct? Something is wrong with the car? They're like, no, it's new car. I was like, how come it's so low? And it's yeah, because a lot of cars were not sold to Europe and to other countries because of the crisis, and they just dumped it to Germany and other countries which were able to take it for a very low price. I'm like, hold your phone, I'm coming. So I basically made a decision to buy the car within like one day, because I came to the dealership. There was a gray, beautiful Honda Accord Type S thing there, the new one. I was like, damn, that is a great car. Okay, here's my money. Shut up and take my money. So I bought that car, and I loved it. I mean, Honda is a great car. It's reliable. You know, nothing bad to say about the car for sure. But then I bought the Tesla Model S in 2000. What is it right now? 14. In 2014,
Have you took your tablets today, Grandad?
I bought the Tesla, and since then I drive the same car. Like 10 years, I drove the Tesla Model S from 2000. No, not 14. Yeah, 14.
Yeah,
Damn it, that the time
10
flies.
years.
10 years, and it's the same car. I still love it. It's an amazing car, super reliable, and literally the car changed my life too, honestly, at some point, because it allowed me to listen to more podcasts and autopilot and audiobooks and stuff, and it helped me to also kind of start the company and yeah, amazing. What a twist. But Hondas are great.
Teslas are great as well. The Cybertruck, I saw my first one the other day. That was pretty wild to see it on the road. It was a
Are they
show.
massive?
It's like massive.
huge?
No, it was like we were driving in Boston and on the other side of the highway, and the whole conversation, the car just stopped. Like, oh my god, what is that? And it's iconic. And we
Yeah,
can
it
say
is.
whatever you want about the
It is iconic.
design or the functionality, but it's just otherworldly in a delightful way. And I probably would have difficulty parking that or not getting that thing scratched up on a daily basis. But it looks like it's a fun one to drive.
It looks amazing. I mean, again, as I said, it's iconic. You can love the guy, you can hate the car, you can whatever, but like I wish there will be more cars with such bold designs on the roads. And that's why, I like the Chinese guys are kind of trying to do some things. They're not afraid to risk, and they are bringing some designs because they're hiring all the European designers, and they're telling them, draw whatever you always wanted to draw, and those guys are now drawing things which they were never allowed to draw in European car manufacturers. And that's what I hope that the future of the cars will be, because companies need to distinct themselves from each other. But yeah, Cybertruck is just other world. Yeah, crazy.
I've seen the Cybertruck wrapped in the Halo Warthog livery, all green, and
Whoa.
it just looks sick. It looks sick. It
I've
just
seen the video
just
as
like
well.
a
Yeah.
Warthog.
Yeah, it's insane. Wow. All right, guys. Matt, we won't hold you any longer in our jeopardy, but it was fun. And thank you for coming. This we always invite our guests again on the pod. So next time maybe he'll come again. Maybe Shota will already have the Vision Pro. No, he'll probably have VR1.
Unless it's in like a year's time. Give me a year.
We'll give you a year.
I need to replace
unless
my car first.
the Omegle app comes in, and then we'll get you a device sooner rather
and I'll be
than
in a
later
Vision Pro.
Commission. No, thanks for having me on here. This has been awesome. Deep diving into the space, and look forward to the next one.
All righty. All right. So we let you go. Shota, we do some closing words for 2 more minutes, and
Bosh. Yeah, okay.
And we'll squeeze you. Thanks, Matt. See you next
Appreciate
time
it.
around.
It's nice to meet you.
Bye.
We'll see you on the internet.
He's a cool cat, wasn't he?
He is. He's absolutely.
He's great.
He's building an amazing app. Beautiful Things. If you didn't,
Oh,
if you own Vision Pro and you didn't download that app, you're lame. You should do it right now. Beautiful Things. Just go download.
Link down below. Wait, can you do that from Vision Pro? Can you click on links and it downloads from the store?
If the link directly follows to the store, it will open me the store.
There's something down here that you can go. You can.
Yeah. If you're watching this on Vision Pro, then you should definitely click the link, and then we'll just take you on. Absolutely, go follow Matt. He's a great builder, and we again talked half of the show about Meta, but listen,
that needs to stop. You need to stop giving him the attention he desperately needs. Wants, sorry, not needs.
Yeah, he wants.
We didn't talk about our theory. We had a theory about everyone in XR. Everyone that I speak to, and you're the same. They've always played an MMO RPG. Every single one of them. Every single person I know in XR, World of Warcraft, RuneScape. Yours was, which one was yours?
Ultima Online.
Ultima Online.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
I reckon everyone's played an MMO, and now that they love VR.
Yeah, because MMO was a first true real-time persistent way to communicate with people and influence each other's well-being based on the actions.
I've still got friends from 2005 that I met in WoW, and I still talk to them daily. And that's crazy. How long ago was 2005? That's like nearly 20 years, is it?
Too many years ago.
20? I'm getting old!
Jeez, man. Yeah, so
33.
That's I'm thinking whether I have still friends with whom I talk from Ultima Online with whom I still talk. I had few with like probably 5-7 years ago still, which I talk about, like ICQ shut down and stuff, and we just got all kind of scattered around the world. But
yeah,
I mean, I had literal friends from Ultima Online for a long time. And Ultima Online changed my life for sure. That was the game which ruined for me gaming on PC.
Mm-hmm.
After Ultima Online, I was not able to play any single player game ever again. Never. And VR did the same to me as Ultima Online did to the single player games. VR did to me for the flat games. I cannot play and fully enjoy the flat games anymore. I just cannot.
You preach.
Whenever I play a flat game, I feel like bad.
I just get bored. It could be the most exciting thing ever. I'm like, I'm bored.
I want to see around. I want to look around. I want to, it's that's it. And you're right. You're right. But that's, I think, the natural progression. That's what people want. And the question is, do kids today play MMOs? Actually, are there any great MMOs right now? Which
I wouldn't say great, but you've got Roblox.
But that's not an MMO, man.
Yeah, it's not in the traditional set. Rec Room.
Is it an MMO?
Okay, yeah, you level up. And
there are some maps like this, yeah.
But no, not really. Not any.
No iconic. Like there's no iconic MMO where you would say like, wow, it's like RuneScape or Second Life or
See, that's where I think
Ultima Online.
VR is lacking. There's no
real.
I will never play a VR game that I'll be like, in 10 years' time, I'll get nostalgia for. Does that mean, like, wow, if I play it now, I'm like, wow, I can remember.
And also, that's where, again, I have to say, that's where blockchain comes in, because not only you need to have an ability to log in 10 years later and have your progress saved, But you need to make sure that everything, like what happened to me in Ultima Online, which actually killed my interest in it. I had I earned a lot of money in Ultima Online. I've been I came in, I started I found the market loop and I started to earn money and I grew my empire and I was trading and had vendors and all this kind of stuff, right? And I had millions and buildings and castles and stuff. And then I was away for a year or something, or 2 years, and then I came back and they wiped the server. Like they did a wipe or something, and I lost a lot of things, or almost everything. And that is it. I lost interest because starting from the beginning, I didn't want to already because I was, I had kids already and it was busy and work and stuff. But I still wanted to play, and that was the dilemma, right? But if they would have it on blockchain, right, and if I had it on blockchain, safely stored, and interoperability would be working, I would have just taken those things and just went into another Ultima Online server, connected my wallet, and just used those things there. Or at least I would have had my wallet. I would be able to sell or maybe buy some music. That's what is missing. Your lifetime progress needs to be safe because your MMO is your second life. Pardon the the obvious, but it's your second life and it's your parallel life, and you need to be able to save the progress like you save in real life. Can you imagine your bank account will be just wiped by government every 2 years? Some governments are like this, but I'm just saying that's not happening because you're building things, you're buying something, you're collecting things. You maybe buy the flat, the car, and these are your things you collect over the years. And that's what's make our life at some point, So that's what you need in digital space. And the blockchain, again, it's the only technology which can provide the lifelong ability to collect things without anyone taking it from you if you don't want to. That's the strong part about it. And nobody's building anything like this. And I hope Somnium could become that anchor point, that anchor
sure,
thing.
What could be.
Yes, you 100%. Start there. You might end up somewhere else, but the start thing, this persistent world where you come in and your starting point, that's what Somnium Space for me is. That's the thing. And we'll see, but we're building toward that vision.
I mean,
totally right.
I mean, totally right. Can I talk about 3.0 for a little bit? Can I say anything about it?
Yeah.
I mean, recently, obviously we're going through it and making it as best we can, but the weekly meets, everything just feels
right.
It feels great. It feels great. It's so consistent, and it's like, oh shit,
it's happening.
I'm meeting new people. It's everything's great. Everything's just feels like the polishing is really starting to kick in now.
I felt really the same today when I was testing the latest build and providing the feedback. While I had some things to mention and stuff, but I went in, and when the tutorial thing opened up, and I looked around, I said, holy crap, that looks good.
It does.
And of course, I was in VR1. That looked amazing. But I was looking at I'm sitting right now in Vision Pro on the top of the mountain. I see clouds, and the environments are amazing here. They're life realistic. But something feels amazingly realistic as well. You're there, and to me, it's not hard to imagine, because I remember Somnium when it was empty, and I was dreaming about having thousands of buildings built inside Somnium. Now we have those thousands of buildings built inside Somnium. Now I'm dreaming about thousands of people being at the same time in that one persistent space. Because what you have not yet, by the way, experienced, I think, Shoda and Somnium, and we already did in Somnium 2.0, is if you go if you're at the city center and someone drives or goes to the mountain 3 miles away, and he has a shiny avatar or something, and he puts the light on and does something, you can see it in real time. And that breaks that breaks you forever, because you want that all the time.
No, I think you did that to me on the waterfall. You was on top of the mountain.
Oh, that's true.
Can you see me?
Yes.
I was like, yes, I can see it. And you was like,
yeah. And the fidelity of your headset is, the more precisely you can see the person, the more further away you can see the person, And that thing is like, it's not you don't have VR games right now where you can see 3 miles away in real time.
No.
There's none. But in Somnium, you can have it 3 miles away. Someone can wave at you with the light or something. You would see that person, and soon you'll be able to have a call inside Somnium. You'll be talking to each other. Say, hey, do you see me? I'm flashing the light on you. Here we are on that parcel having a party, and you will come there or you will drive there. Like, holy cow, that's as close as it gets to towards being a persistent metaverse, to in my mind. Like that's the holy grail. That's the holy grail of the experience. And I think we're getting there. Like we are getting there. And some
I just thought of an idea just right now about it. Share my location in chat. I don't know if that's already a thing.
I don't think. No, I mean you can see people on map where they are with the nicknames. But what I'm trying to say is like when you see something on a 2D map is one thing, but when you see them
actually
on the
seeing,
mountain, actually seeing there, like that is like we should try it.
Illegal raves at the waterfall. What's all these lights? Yeah, I can picture it.
Yeah,
I can picture it.
It's amazing. And now imagine this, but times 1,000, where you see different people in different locations, and you kind of like you're on top of the mountain, and by the looks, you can just see where the things are happening. Like, oh, there's probably a disco happening because there's some lights flashing, and like 10, 15, 20 people around, and here a few cars driving around, and they're probably having a race. There's someone here, there's someone there. And you'll be like, wow, okay, there's a lot of things happening. And I probably go and maybe socialize with those guys who are having a party, or I'll go and socialize with the racers who are racing the cars, or maybe someone is playing a shooter game, or I see some boats floating on the main lake, like what are they doing there? That's strong, that's, in my opinion, that's some. And by the way, that doesn't finish there, because there are other worlds and you can dive into other worlds and things like that. But that's already having that persistent base where you can actually have those experiences. It's your starting point in your journey, and it's only your end point in your journey. That's powerful, in my opinion.
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%. I can't wait for it to be out in the wild and.
Yeah, we'll make it. Listen, everything takes time. I am very realistic. We had our peaks and our drops. On average, I think anywhere between in Somnium 2.0, anywhere between like 10 to 100 people join and connect to Somnium, still log in and check their stuff like almost every day. It's just about having it in a more consistent way, but also, Somnium 3.0 brings like what new social system, right? Because you can start collecting your contacts finally. It brings the marketplace, the ability to buy, sell, monetize. It brings the building, new tools for, SDKs. All of those building blocks are coming together, and it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's unfortunately not a sprint, but maybe it's fortunate, because how many companies will persist another 10 years building this? Like, not many, honestly. I've seen many companies come and die, like literally, because either founders got bored or money went out and they were not able to, sustain themselves. Because most of those big companies who are in social VR, like VR Chat and Rec Room, they're still living from the investors' money right now. And it's tough. It's tough. So we'll see how next 5 years, 7 years will bring. I mean, I can ensure you will be here, we'll be building, and our world will become more lovely and more full with other creations and people. Yeah, maybe we'll not be.
I was gonna say, I think the marketplace will attract a lot of people. The ability to make an avatar and make money from it. But what? No one else is doing that. Make wearables, make a little bit of money from it. Make a world, make money from it.
I mean, sorry, like when I see someone stealing someone's avatar in VR Chat, my heart is bleeding. Because I know how much time goes into making a good avatar. Like, it is a lot of work, a lot of love, a lot of work, a lot of pain, a lot of testing, a lot of try and error. And then you make an avatar, you try to sell it, and then someone steals it. And I'm like, what the freaking hell, And then when I see someone trying to sell the same avatar, like you spend 50, 60 hours making an avatar, okay? And then they try to sell it for $30 per piece, and they're hoping that maybe 200 people will buy it, But that's honestly that, and then someone buys it and then resells it somewhere else and then shares it for free, and then you're all in tears and people are angry. That's not the way. Like, that's not the way. If you spend 60 hours for Avatar, you better get paid for it in a proper way. Like, literally, someone needs to appreciate that. And ideally, if I buy my Avatar in VR, I want my avatar to be the only avatar with that looks. Like, I want to be unique. I don't want to go to the party and then have 100 same people or super similar people to me dancing. Like, we're all unique in our life. We want to be unique. We want to differentiate ourselves. That's why all this fashion and stuff. That's the whole point. Like, if you build something, you gotta get paid for it. And I need to insert mentality into people's minds that it's okay to pay more for good stuff in virtual reality, because virtual goods, people spend real time to build them, so you should spend real money to actually reward those people. It's not good to steal things. Like, it's okay to have some free avatars, that's fine, but it's not okay to pay $30 for an avatar which took 60 hours to build. Sorry, it's literally not okay. I'm against that. And I think many creators understand that. Like, many creators will understand it, and they will come and they will appreciate that. Yes, maybe in the beginning it's harder to sell. Maybe there is not such a big audience, but the audience grows, and the moment you do your first sell, it allows you to maybe buy a new computer, maybe invest more in your time. How many people we had in Somnium who created, like, we literally changed lives in Somnium, because some creators came in and they were able to create like cars, like the cars you reviewed, right? Recently, we did this video. Funny, amazing video. But those cars, some of those cars were sold for, $7,000-$10,000 per car. Now, many people.
And I sat on one.
Yeah, immediately some people will say that's a crazy overkill, speculation, blah blah blah. On one hand, yes. On another hand, it's a collector item. On the third hand, it allowed the creator who created those cars to reinvest, and actually some creators left their day jobs and they were continuing to build and started their 3D modeling career just based on those sales. Isn't that amazing? That is a life-changing thing. And they still continue today. They're not in a day job already for a long time. They continue to be 3D creators because that was an impulse that allowed them to start the career. And people who bought the cars, like I myself bought the car. I paid $7,000 for my car, which is in my garage in Somnium Space next to the Magic Forest. And I'm still happy. Why? Because it's a collector item. There's one-of-a-kind car like this. Nobody will ever have it. I can drive it. It's fun. It's amazing looking car. I make a picture with it. It's my baby, and I love it. Nothing wrong in that.
No,
but yeah,
nothing at all. Like what you're saying with the avatars being stolen. If those avatars were on blockchain, they wouldn't have got stolen.
Exactly. First of all, we encrypt avatars. Second of all, they're on blockchain. And if someone tries to do the knockoff of the avatar, you can report that. And we just look on the blockchain and we say, oh, here's the original one. Sorry, man. Bad luck.
Delete.
Bye-bye. That's the whole point. And that's it. Like, it's easy to understand. It's easy to remember. And honestly, when the blockchain is implemented, there is no incentive for anyone to do the knockoffs. There's no financial incentive. And the moment the financial incentive is gone, the will to do it is gone. It's maybe for fun, but honestly, how many times you'll just end up in Somnium jail, and that's it. Like, how many times you would do for fun? Once, but that's it. Like, your moderator will just shoot you with a jail gun and you're gone. That's it. So yeah, I would say people just need to understand that the long-term economy, anchoring yourself to a digital alternative life, it's what people are missing, because right now our lives are scattered. I am on Twitter, some of you on Instagram, someone on WhatsApp, some are in VR chat, someone in Roblox, someone on a Gorilla Tag, someone are here and there, but there's no one place where you go when you start your journey and end your journey. And to me, that one thing has to be spatial. It has to be in VR, because that's where your brain believes that you're in different space. Again, I might be, weird, but that's how I see it.
Well, I'm a weirdo too, because I fully see that vision, and I think we will see it in the next 5-10 years. Something's got to happen. Hopefully, it's Somnium Space. Why not?
I mean, exactly, why not? I mean, look, I'm realist as well. I don't think we're not aiming for having millions of users on our platform in the beginning, but we're aiming to have, tens of thousands of people who understand that. And honestly, imagine Somnium-based reality world with 1,000 people at the same time online.
That'd be.
Just picture it for a
Give me a
second.
jail gun to start with, just in case there's some plebs like me come on. But yeah, no, I can picture it.
Imagine you show up in the city center and then there are 50, 60 people chatting with each other. You're hearing
around.
yeah, you're like,
talking to the AI.
yeah.
Just, saying, "Oh, should we go to this world? Should we do this? What do you fancy doing?"
Yeah. People's in the teleportation hubs, hopping in and out, cars and stuff. And honestly, in Somnium 2.0, we had at our peaks, we had like maybe 60 people online, where they at the same time there were more in the world, but in the base reality world, and like 30 people were in the city center. And you come in and you're like, hey, there's many people talking to each other. Like there's one interview, I think I did an interview with Russia Today, like in 2019, 20, or maybe 20. And I remember like a lot of people gathered for that interview in the background in the city center. And you can find that interview if you put like Artur and Somnium and Russia Today in the YouTube. There's some I think Blake put it on YouTube. And you can see how many people are in background just chatting with each other. And it just, some were chatting this and that, some were playing the shooter, some were just driving the cars. Like it feels alive, and it's that's the whole point. And that's the holy grail. When you come in, there's so many things happening at the same time. You feel like you're in the real world. You're somewhere real. So yeah, it's gonna happen. I mean, we're stubborn. I'm stubborn. Nobody believe we can do. Nobody believe we can do Somnium space, and nobody believe we can do hardware. There were many people like still a few weeks ago said like, oh, this hardware will never release. It will never be real. Nobody will ever see this headset. They will never show it to anyone. And yet we're already here. The headset is built, and
I've seen the headset.
Yeah, I mean, exactly. And 200 plus people as well, and many more will get those headsets delivered to them. But that's the whole point. Like, it's hard until it's done, and then it becomes norm that it's possible.
You did it the right way. You did it. You made VR1. Then you got people that you know as well who love VR and XR. Brought them in, try it out, and you listen to what they said. And then, I don't believe the next time they tried it, everything they said, yeah, it's done. It's the best visuals, best pass through, good comfort, and that's all because you listen to people who love VR, and that says a lot about you, man. I don't want to ring you too hard, but it does say a lot about you as someone in this space.
I think I do care about VR a lot, and I would not sleep well if I would bring the headset, which is bad. Like I couldn't do it to myself. You know what I mean? And that's why I didn't want to take money from people, because I didn't want to feel the pressure of timing. I wanted to do it right, and if I needed to take 4 more months for some reason to do it, then I would do it. And I took the money, or we started to take money at the point where the factory is ready. It's starting to be produced and stuff. That's the point where we said, okay, now we know it's coming next month. Like that's where it's coming, and the headset is ready, fully ready. I put my hand into the fire to say that's a great headset. That's it. And that's where we obviously start to take money, because people need to place their orders in a concession in a kind of in a conventional way, where they need to reserve their places and stuff. So that's obvious. But yeah, that's the whole point. So,
but the things coming out from like what they said in Upload VR and Road to VR and some of the YouTubers, just you must get a little bit tingly feeling. So there's nerves, but like what they're going to say, and then they say what they've said. Links below. You must have got like a fuzzy feeling, like, oh yes, well, obviously you knew it's good, but people agree with me. You know what I mean? Relief?
Yes. To me, I have to say, I love the guys who invited, love the YouTubers, and and Upload VR and Road to VR, and thank you for them for coming. I think the most praise to me at Somnium Connect was when I knew that there was like 5 or 6 people coming who bought VR1 already and paid money, and they tried it, and I heard some people screaming like, "Holy shit!" And then they came to me, and like some people literally like hugged me and said, "Man, you fucking did it. Like, thank you. I'm keeping my order." And to me, that was the most important part, because I know it's a great headset. I know people love it. We've showed it already in main, but hearing it from people who pay their money for this, that's the highest possible praise as the founder I can get. And that was that time, at that point, when they came to me after like first hour of demos, they came to me and they said to me one by one, they were coming and saying these things. I said, amazing. Like, like we did it. We like, they see the same things I see in that headset, and that's important. So yeah, for me, that was the most incredible feeling of all the feelings.
VR2 next.
No, please, let's first do VR1 and ship it to all the people. And then VR2. I mean, yeah, we're working on optical stack already, but it will take time. It will take time. It will take time. Because I have so many ideas for VR2, but I need to tame myself first to consider, because otherwise would go to space with this VR2. You know what I mean? It will fly you to space and back, like Elon's rocket. Anyway, I need to run already. I think we had a great show today. We wanted to speak about news, and then we end up speaking about Meta and then Somnium and social VR. But that's what Pixel Slaves is. We can speak about whatever we want. Nobody
cars, a little bit of cars as well. Honda CR-V.
I'm looking at Honda CR-V here in my browser next to it. I'm like, I still have to ask him, like, how do you end up in a Honda CR-V fan club? Like,
you love what you love. You can't change that.
It's true. It's absolutely true. So
we love VR, and some people might find that absolutely weird, but here we are.
True story. They will listen. People will find VR weird, some people, but they don't know one thing. They will all end up in VR one day. I cannot say the same about Honda CR-V. So. I hope. But VR, one way or another, the spatial computing will catch them, grab them by the balls or titties or whatever they have. Sorry for
and grab them by the lady balls.
Have you seen this new video about?
Well, where are we going? Where are you segueing to now?
Yeah, I'm segueing into Trump. Segueing into Trump. Have you seen this new video? No. Have you seen this new video of like comedy show? I think Killer Tony or something like this. And there was a Trump and Biden like comedy guys who impersonate Trump and Biden. Unbelievable. I've never heard or saw someone that convincingly similar in voice to Donald Trump.
Wait, what is it? Send me a link after. I want to watch it.
I will show it to you right now, because that, like, the way how it's like, there was a lady that she was like walking by and she had like bikini, right? Yeah. And she was like, the guy sitting there like, I don't know, I cannot do Trump, but he was like, beautiful lady. I met her backstage. I talked to her. I touched her tits. They're real tits. Many people say they're fake, but they're real tits. They're American tits. I was like, what the? And he was like improvising the whole way. And it's like, we don't get it anymore. They're only American tits. 4 years ago under my administration, there were only American tits. And now they're Mexican tits pouring in the border. I was like, what the hell is he going into? Wait, let me turn on. Let me turn the YouTube, because I can do that.
Now get ready for Pixel Slaves random reactions. Come get your giggle on. Let's get the show rolling. Coming up, a lot of this. Check it out.
Now we've got a